Coming up, the PlayStation 5 may be big today, but do you remember the days of the PS1? We'll take a trip down memory lane.
And watch as we face off in an intense battle on the Wii, that is. The FTC Soundcheck Retro Gaming Edition starts now. Hello everybody and welcome to the Retro Video Game Edition of the FTC Soundcheck. I'm Adrian Cardilozzi.
And I'm Grace Bonamico. New video games are coming out every day, but that doesn't stop people from playing older games. Whether you're looking for a childhood game that you remember dearly or something new, chances are there's a vintage game that can suit your needs. While modern games are focused on the newest graphics trends, older games are praised for focusing on making the games fun.
People like to debate about which decade was the golden age of retro technology. How much do we really know about the video games that have made the industry as we know it today? While the first game was Tennis for Two, developed in 1958 by two scientists at the Brookhaven National Lab on Long Island, it wasn't until the 70s when gaming would really take off. In the 70s, if you wanted to play a video game, you had to go to the arcade unless you owned a home gaming system. The Magnavox Odyssey introduced in the world to home gaming. Games like Pong and table tennis became popular among users. By the early 80s, there were more home gaming systems and portable devices. Pac-Man and Donkey Kong were household favorites, being in the top 5 video games of the decade.
They're brothers. They're plumbers. Oh no, not yet.
During the 90s, video games had so much influence that both Super Mario Bros. And Mortal Kombat were made into live-action movies. Numerous movies based on video games have been made since then. In the early 90s, the Sega Genesis was released in an attempt to compete with Nintendo, which dominated the industry at the time. Both companies would butt heads with each other. With Sega making their slogan, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Ultimately, Nintendo would win and Sega would exit the home console market. The early 2000s brought the PlayStation 2, the best-selling gaming console of all time. 3D gaming was becoming more popular, and the Wii's motion-sensitive remotes made gaming even more active than ever before.
While many think of the PlayStation or the Xbox today, some remember the days of arcades and blowing into the cartridge, trying to make it work. While you may think those days are long gone, they're actually closer than you think. Fernando Gomez has details.
Walking into Blast from the Past is like walking into the past. You can find a vast selection of video games from your or your parents' childhoods. The store in Bayshore has some newer games, but the focus is on past classics, from the Atari all the way to the Nintendo Switch. Owner Richard McWilliams says retro games have been a passion of his for years.
Started when I was very young of going to thrift stores with my mother, who was always looking for fabric or stuff for her crafting. And while she was doing that, I was looking for cool vintage stuff.
While their brick and mortar store seems to have everything out in the open, they actually have even more stock for sale online.
On eBay, we sell a little bit of everything. Video games, trading cards, sports cards, vintage toys, movies, music, comics, graphic novels, and even some stuff that we find that maybe doesn't apply to the entire store as well.
Blast from the Past isn't the only place to buy retro games on Long Island, though. Video Game Trading Post has several locations, including the one in Bayshore. Max Homoy is a video game enthusiast who works there.
We're a primarily retro video game focused store. We do sell plushies and other merchandise, but our main focus is, of course, the games.
Some people collect games just to have them, while others are looking to hold on to them so future generations can experience what made their childhoods.
We want to preserve things from the past and showcase them for customers and friends in our community that are looking for them.
I think being able to keep these experiences that may eventually become lost readily available, I think that's really important.
Without a time machine, reliving your childhood may seem like an impossible task, but with retro video games, you can do just that. I'm Fernando Gomez, reporting.
Here at Five Towns, we gave students a chance to step into the past with a retro video game setup that was familiar to many.
I think it's a very fun game, you know. I mean, you'll see the footage. I was struggling with it a bit, but I got all the Yoshi coins, which was pretty cool. And it is a very fun game, you know.
Super Mario World was really good. It's a classic game.
Abracadabra!
What about Shaq Fu?
Well, it has Shaq in it, which is 1 point out of 10. That's unfortunately all the points I could give it out of 10.
Oh, he does have a quarter circle forward. This is where's my attack? He does. What is this?
Shaq Fu was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. I don't think anything will ever reach this amount of awesomeness in my life again. This is like this was a great experience, you know. Yeah, I've played on like the GameCube. For me, that's a little bit older.
I used to have original NES in my house and an N64. I think I've played on the SNES like at a gaming convention once, but that's about it.
And I don't think an original one. I don't believe so. I played on the Classic Edition, and I played on the Switch Online, like the Super Nintendo, but yeah, no, not on I don't think on an original one. I don't believe so, at least.
Most people don't have the opportunity to play with these classic games every day, but our producer, Stephen Cooney, does. He joins me now with some of his items from his personal retro gaming collection. Now, Stephen, tell me, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Now, I do have a question. Tell me, what you brought in here today?
So I brought in quite a variety of things. I brought in a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo, which are the two butting heads of the console wars of the 90s, which is personally my favorite era of video games. I brought in my favorite copy of Shadow the Hedgehog. That one's factory sealed. I brought in some games for both, a factory sealed copy of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and yeah, that's about it, and 2 plushies that I think look cool.
Tell me, I gotta say, quite the collection here.
Yeah.
Tell you love Sonic.
I do.
What is your favorite item here?
Probably this one. This is a factory sealed copy of Shadow the Hedgehog 2005. I bought it at an anime convention actually for about $130, and then it kind of just sat on a shelf for a while, but then in the past year it shot up to almost 10 times that, so this boy's worth a lot of money. I also have this one, which is the Game Genie for the Sega Genesis. The original one was for the SNES, but they got sued by Nintendo because they didn't want people modding their games. But then the company Galoob won, and then Sega decided that they were going to license their own version because they want gamers to have fun.
Very interesting stuff. Now, I have to ask, what got you into video game collecting?
So I grew up with the Sega Genesis here as a hand-me-down from my mom, but also she would go to thrift stores a lot, and then, because she was very crafty, so then I would just go around and while she was doing that and just look at any old tech I can find, whether it was TVs or radios and video games especially. That's what I was looking for, but anything interesting I could find, I would pick up, and then slowly it built up over time.
Stephen, thank you for coming here today to show us your collection. Always
Thank you.
appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Coming up, you'll see us go head-to-head in a high-stakes but friendly battle in Wii Sports Resorts. But first, students, faculty members, and staff tell us about what video games they played when they were kids.
I remember when Pong came out and Atari in 1977. We thought it was the wildest thing we ever saw in our life.
The first game I played as a child was the Mario series. Mario! They had it back then in the 1800s.
Actually, Mario Party 4, if I'm correct. A lot of fun memories.
ColecoVision, I think it was the name of the console. That was a long time ago.
My favorite game playing up was Pac-Man. I could take a quarter and turn that into an hour of entertainment by going to about level 20 without being killed by the Pac-Man.
My favorite game growing up was probably Major League. Those videos and stuff. Baseball.
Wii Sports, because that was The Nintendo Wii was one of my first major gaming consoles that I've had, and man, I got so many memories from that. And even Wii Sports Resort, that was also a major release as well.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2013, I think it was. Very realistic.
Congratulations, Daniel Garcia.
Going to the IBS Awards this year knowing that I was nominated was a little nerve-wracking because I know that with the IBS Awards that put me already in the top 5% of students in the country. So when we got to the actual awards and knowing that my award was the first of the night and then actually hearing my name get called, it was an unreal experience, and it's still hard to put into words now how I feel about it. When I first got to school, I had this imagination that I was just going to be a TV personality. I was going to be a TV news anchor, and that was really it. And if it wasn't for one of my good friends that I met here, Jeff Kramer, I would have never really gave radio a shot. I've learned a lot at Five Towns, and Five Towns really gets you hands-on with everything, with radio, with television. And even though I didn't like radio in the beginning, the more and more that I was able to do it and really experience being on air, the more I began to love it.
We're back with our retro video game show with a game that's not quite retro, but was discontinued a while ago, Wii Swordplay.
Now, I have played this before, but Adrian has it, and here is how you play. It's really simple. You basically just gotta swing the Wiimote around and try to knock your opponent off of the platform, and it's best 2 out of 3. Once you get hang of the controls, it's a little easier than what it seems because the Wiimote, as much as I love it, is very finicky.
You see, Grace, even though I never played before, I am still gonna beat you.
Oh, we are going to see about that.
All right, let's get right to it
Let's get ready.
Round 1, fight.
Okay, quick practice.
I don't need practice. I already got this in the bag.
Tell yourself whatever you need to sleep well at night.
Okay, we'll see. Whoa, what the heck? God, my God, this is...
Okay.
First time.
I just gave that to you.
You just gave it to me? Okay, we'll see. I'm winning the next one. I already got my confidence high up. High up.
Round 2, fight.
You got me fired. I got fired up right now.
I hate having to do this every round. It's so annoying.
It is. Oh, whoa, what the? Oh. First time, never played this before. Let's go. Actually, no, good game. Good game.
Good game.
I'm always going to be respectful to the people I verse. 1v1, first time, I won.
Okay.
Let's go, baby.
You know what? Off camera, you and me. Let's go at it, see who the real winner is.
Okay, let's do it.
Sometimes I go easy on people who haven't played before. But that is all. I am Grace Bonamico.
And I'm Adrian Cardelozzi. Thanks for watching.